Alex, what happened last time?
Well, we had started our crawl of the palace, and I'd say the most important events from that session included us finding what we would hope to be a safe place to rest inside of the palace in the future. We ran into cultists who were in service of that dreadful blackguard that we fought. Or not fought, well, I don't recall his name, but he was like a chaos, some worshiper of chaos. And it seems that he is already in the palace with his peoples, and we convinced them that we were on their side. We even convinced them to heal many of us back up to more healthy states. Um, and then it was kind of a slow crawl there through. We were going from room to room, trying to discover things within it. Like we fought off a giant spider. We found a secret room with a diary in it. I believe Raltnik was covered in a strange liquid dropped on him from above. And I believe where we left off last session, we were about to push our way through a door that leads to potentially another large area in the castle. And I think we're on the lookout for stairs that might lead downwards. There are apparently a lot of floors to this palace.
Oh, sorry. In the journal, you all found the location of your prize, and it should just be above you, according to the journal. So if you can
It's true, the
find a
wooden
way
teak
up.
box.
Yeah. And it hypothetically shouldn't be very far away if the journal is true. And shortly after that, yes, Routnick was covered in glitter, golden glitter, and now you can't get it off of him because glitter does what glitter does. And you also found, or rather Trevor found, a scroll of Passwall, which you could attempt to try to use one time for everybody. Attempt, or it is outside of his typical abilities. And then lastly, and I think this is where we are now, you were exploring a hallway further in, and a crazed, insane man jumped out from around a corner.
Yes, and turned me from yellow to red.
Oh,
Gosh, that's right. There were a lot of things that happened last session.
my stuff is struggling. So, he jumps out from around the corner, and it's sort of like a barracks. It's got rooms. You saw that there were these foot lockers. They looked like they were empty, and he laughs insanely. He's like, "I knew you were here for my treasure!" And he jumps around and stabs Routnick real quick, but does not kill Routnick to this man's surprise. He doesn't realize who he's picking on.
Indeed he doesn't, and I've got 5 hit points left.
Foundry's crapping out on me. Oh, technology. The downside to online play. Well, I don't think we rolled for initiative, or did we? Let's do it. Let's roll for initiative. Just got to beat a 4, and then whoever goes highest goes first. 18, so So far we got an 18. Looking like an 18. Looks like Taryn goes first. What do you do? And I'll pan the camera
Did this
now that
guy
I'm in here.
Did this guy come in from a secret door, or was that like, or is from the art that you showed? Was that just from the same door that we came in?
Yeah, the art is accurate in this case. Yes, there's like a alcove here. He was hiding in the shadows and just came out.
Taryn's gonna try to. Can Taryn kind of get between him and the alcove that he was hiding in? Try to cut off this guy's retreat before I attack?
You'll have to make a pass-through check. Roll a dexterity check. It doesn't take your action, don't worry.
Okay.
At least I don't think it does. You pass, you're able to pass through.
Awesome, okay. Oh, crap. It always selects Riga as well when I first join.
And I know why now, and I'm going to fix it. Don't worry. I got you now. That should have fixed it for good right there. Figured that out.
I'm gonna get. I move to that position, try to block his easiest way out, and I'm gonna try to chop his head off with my greatsword.
All right, go for it. Oops.
16.
16 hits.
Six points of damage.
He, as you pass right past him, what type of weapon do you have?
A big hulking two-handed greatsword.
He looks at you surprised and he spins around. He's like, my great treasure. Describe how you kill him.
Oh gosh, just like that.
So much vengeance.
Yeah,
I'll enjoy this one.
Travis thought he was a bigger deal than he was.
without even like changing his expression, Taryn like chops the man in half and begins wiping off his greatsword and says, "True treasure is in your companions' lives."
He slumps to the ground, the first human being you found in an otherwise pristine, clean, marbled, quiet, and dark palace. Here you are in this room, a rectangular room. There are... I feel like this is the wrong thing here. It's a barracks with a bunch of footlockers. It is otherwise empty in here.
Before we do anything, clerics, I think I'd like to not be close to death at the moment.
Alright, there's only one. And he says, he comes over to you, he looks at you. Are you kind of bleeding, or are you pretty banged up?
I lost 16 of my 21 hit points, so yeah, it's a pretty nasty gash.
I can't remember, but I put it in here on his thing, so if it's on here, yeah, I didn't get rid of it. I'm pretty sure he lost it, but I didn't track it, so unless somebody tells me otherwise, I'm going to say he could do it.
Right.
And he looks at you and he says, "Lord has spared your life so far for a purpose, Raldnick. You've swore your service to him, if I recall correctly."
What need you?
We see this through to the end and discover the secret of this place. Not just a jewel or treasure, but its secret. We find an answer.
Aye. We will.
Alright. You get a bunch of hit points back. Whoops. You get 7 hit points.
Alright.
Alright.
Better than nothing.
Okay, now I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to the group caller here. Taryn, what do you do in this? What does the group do in this room? Not just you, but what do you guys do?
We haven't had a chance to search it over yet, so I think what we should do, guys, is shut the door behind us and then take a look for anything hidden and go through the alcove this guy was hiding in. Maybe it leads elsewhere.
Okay. So you want to take some time to search it, or do you look at something in particular? It's just looks like an old barracks. The beds are used, but of good quality. You don't see anything in the footlockers. You did already check those. And
would
go
we
ahead.
be able to start looting Trevor's corpse?
You can totally loot Trevor's corpse. You find a dagger on Trevor. He has his stupid-looking helmet, and he's got that breast piece. So, you know, I'll say it acts as, in this case, leather armor. On Travis himself, you do not find anything of value here.
Whoever doesn't have leather, I'll give them the breastplate, and I will swap out my own helmet for his silly one.
Okay. You have a silly, I can't remember what type of helmet these are called. It's got that really pointed, really pointy. Helmet? Perhaps, and then I think from the looks of it, it's got probably that chain, which also I can't think of the name of it right now, but the chain hanging from the sides. But anyways,
like it's a Norman helmet.
So, is there anything specific that you all look at in here? What do you think,
Taryn kind of motions. Taryn motions to Daniel and Riga and tells them to turn over all the beds, find whatever you can, and then Taryn himself will go over to the alcove.
Okay. I will make checks here. 10 minutes pass. I can't remember what the timer was on, so I'll give you all the benefit of the doubt there as well. That's my fault. So we'll start 10 minutes in on the timer. You find nothing of interest here in this room. It seems empty. It seems any valuables have since been located or relocated.
And is that, I'm guessing that's including the alcove that this guy was hiding in?
Yeah, I did the alcove and under the beds and the room in general, you do not find anything. I'm going to regroup you all.
Right.
Seems like this man was trying to just use it as a death trap, and we ruined his plans. Perhaps we shall return to the corridors of the dungeon.
Aye.
All right. We'll do that then. I'll put you all out here in the corridor of the dungeon. From where you are outside of this room, the corridor goes on to the north and also to the south. You can see just at the edge of your torchlight, there seems to be some corner there, something. An edge. You can only just tell at the edge of your torchlight.
Oh, we'll move up to what I'm guessing is an intersection to the south, and then we'll decide, I guess.
Forgive me, didn't we come from the south?
No, we came from the north.
Pardon me then, we'll continue on south.
All good. All
right, so you start traveling south. As you go down this hall, it is, as before, perfectly, eerily quiet. You can only hear your own breath and your boots clapping against the perfect marble floors, all of which are immaculately clean. And there is, the first thing you come to is a door to your right, and then your torchlight terminates in darkness. The hallway continues on ahead of you. Hey, Steve.
Oh, sorry about that. Totally lost track of time.
Is he a man?
So, Taryn, what does the group do? Do you all continue on, go back, or check out the door? And if you check out the door, do you check it for traps, listen, take the time, not take the time, etc.?
let's see, guys. What? I'm thinking two things here, so let me know what you guys think. We're probably going to want to be looking for stairs. And do we think that stairs are going to be inside of a room or out in these hallways?
Probably out in the hallway, but it's worth checking for little goodies along the way.
Are you looking for stairs up or down?
We're looking for stairs upwards, I believe. If we're trying to find that, the box. There's this teak wooden jeweled case.
What we did is we came down some stairs to get to that room we were just in.
So we're actually probably going in. You think we're going in like the opposite direction completely of where we're
Yeah, I mean we went down from the library level. We went downstairs. Right at the end of the last session, right before we went in the room, Ross said that we were going downstairs to get to this hallway. They weren't on the map though.
I see. Yeah, I realize now then. Yeah, I see on the map that Steve made. I didn't realize there were stairs at some of these locations. Oh. Well then, do you guys think then that we should turn around and go the opposite way?
Sure, after this door.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Let's check out the door. We'll Routnick give it a listen. The rest of us will stay on guard, and if it sounds empty, let's go in.
All right. We'll listen.
Just quick. Okay, so you're going to take the time to listen, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and who's doing that?
Routnick will be.
Okay.
I've got no wisdom.
All right.
That is a 12. Yep, that is a 12.
Remember, don't roll. So that's a roll that I do behind the screen. Let's see here. I'm going to pan the camera. And... Okay. So, Routnick, when you lean in, you listen at the door for a while, you are certain that you don't hear anything behind the door. It sounds as quiet behind that door as it does in these halls. The only thing you can hear is the breath of your companions.
I'll turn... And what kind of door is this again?
The doors here... This is the same as the other doors that you've seen here. They... let's see here. We can... I wanted to give you the description because if the door is different, that's very good. That's a good question. It's good information. Okay. Well, I will simply say that the doors here are made of wood, but they're not reinforced. This is a palace, and these are all like late imperial decorative wooden doors. And they're all in perfect condition, and it just has a doorknob.
Would you describe them as being dainty, even? Are they that decorative?
Yeah, just shy of that, you know, in the imperial style where it'll have carvings and, you know, curves in how it's carved and stuff like that, but not not like, I can't think of the style, not cottage style, where it's got like floral designs or something.
Art Nouveau.
It's like black or not black, tarnished wood doors.
We need to steal these doors and sell them.
Yeah, you still sell the doors. You can sell the floors of this place if you could get it out of here.
I was thinking about kicking in the door since everything sounded clear, but since they're so decorative and dainty, rolling it.
All right. You should be able...
Daniel, how healthy are you looking right now, Daniel?
I'm at full health. I'm good to go.
How about let's have you and Riga be pushing through in the front of some of these doors for a bit.
I have one question. So I was only about 25 minutes late. What happened to Travis?
Oh. Yeah.
I just realized
this is really simple, and here's the answer to that question. There's Travis. He just like, ha ha! You fools! You tried to take my treasure, and then Terran spun across the room and hacked him in two, and that was it. That was Travis.
Didn't make it.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up.
He also had nothing of worth on him, essentially.
But he was a named character.
He's got a whole backstory and everything, but he's got 4 hit points. I'll be honest with you. Anyways.
Oops.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Terran pushes Daniel and Riga, saying you two are the toughest of all of us. Go forward on this one.
Okay, if that's the case, let's switch to individual turns, and I'm going to start with Daniel. Daniel, you can move your token.
I looked up.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
What did you say, Heretic?
I will look up. I will look up before I enter the room.
Ah, okay. The ceiling looks immaculate. You look up before you enter the room, and with such a perfect, like mold style ceiling, you know, where it's got whatever you call it, floral molding, and then and then it's got like the dome to it. When you look downward, you see something absolutely horrific. And the smell probably hits you last. Daniel, you smell it as you try to enter the room, as if a wall hits your nose. There are rotting carcasses in this room, mounds of rotted, decayed bodies. You get the sense that these are former adventurers. And does anyone have a constitution of 7 or less?
That would be... Oh, I've actually got a con of 8.
Nice. Okay, so nobody has a con of 7. You all managed to just fight through. So that's an example, like I'm going to use the module and see how it does instead of Shadowdark, which is it's kind of interesting, like, which one should I do? But I kind of like that. Sometimes it'll say something like, if more than 2 of the characters have strength of 10, or if the sum of strength is 20 or greater in the party, or it'll say stuff like that. Well, anyways.
Yeah, I really appreciate. There was a brief era in modules where they did that before they had like non-weapon proficiencies, like actually making your stats matter outside of a fight.
Yeah. Winter's Daughter, but a lot of that happens behind the screen, like you didn't even know it. Winter's Daughter does that, has a thing like that. It kind of reintroduced it, and I like it. But anyways, yes, gore, smell, you're able to fight through it, at least without throwing up. But there are piles of bodies in here.
Well, we start looting through.
You're gonna loot the bodies.
Does it look like they've got anything still on them?
At glance, it looks like they've even been stripped bare.
Ah. In that case,
There might be a door at the other side of the room. We've encountered rooms like that. Let's at least take a peek through before leaving.
Well, the first person's Daniel. You can move up to your full movement distance and take 1 action. What do you do, Daniel?
I'm gonna move along this wall here.
All right. I can't remember who has the torch. I think it's...
I think Trevor does.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Okay, Trevor, I'm just going to move you in just for that. There you go.
You cast light on someone, right? Like you cast light, I think, on someone's shield?
It went really poorly.
Oh,
He
that's
lost
right.
his light spell, yeah.
That's right.
Okay, sorry, Daniel, you can go ahead. Where do you go?
Oh, I thought it would lead a lot further. But yeah, I'm just checking out the room, see if there's a door over here. But yeah, no, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, you look, you don't see any breaks on the wall. The walls appear barren to you. And you kind of have to tiptoe among the bodies. And in places you can't help but hear a crunch as you come down on someone's hand, or a knee joint, or an open ligament. as it crunches and squishes under your feet. Try as you might not to step on these chewed up bodies. But yeah.
You describe them as chewed up.
They
From a monster?
No, they look like they have been hacked up by sliced, bladed weapons, and yeah.
Okay.
Yuck. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's leave.
Very well. Okay, I'm going to regroup you and put you back out in the hallway. From here, I have that the door is open, and the door appears open, and of course, and then continues to the north and to the south. Where do you go?
Close this door.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll make our way to the north rather hurriedly until I think we should arrive at an intersection if we just go straight north, so if we can kind of...
I see.
Like, we don't need a map while we're... Like, our characters probably don't need a map because we've already been here.
All right.
I see them. This was the, this door to the left was the library from last week, right?
No, the library's kind of somewhere over here to the right. This is the room. This is the room that had the it's like a hospital bed in there, I think, and there was like there was like a dagger with nothing.
And the
no handle, I think.
The stairways down. That was
Yeah, and I'm sorry because the VTT does not always have the right details. So there are stairs here, and actually, let me put you kind of where the bottom of the stairs are, so you can see. They start kind of here, and they go up past up to this door, to the threshold of this doorway. So past that door, there are stairs going down.
All right, then we're definitely gonna have to find a pair of stairs that go up.
All right.
Looking at the maps that our mappers have done, it might be prudent to take the path to the west here, from what I'm reckoning, because I think that will... We've seen a lot of the stuff that's on the east side of this palace, but we haven't seen anything on the western side, and I think this path may lead to a quick way to get there.
All right. Let me kind of put you all closer together for this. Now, I know this is not your order of march. I assume you're putting the fighters up front and not putting Trevor up front, you know. But you can change that. You let me know, you know. The first thing you come to going west is a pathway turning to the right, to the north, and then it continues on. Do you want to keep going west?
Aaron's gonna flip one of his coins. Coin came up heads. Let's take a right. Let's travel to the north.
Very well. Let's see here. You travel here for a few moments. It's the same total silence in this place. Dark, other than your torchlight. You hear your breathing, your footsteps clinking across a pristine, gleaming marble floor. The walls are clean. There are tables and places that have pots with flowers. It's as if this was set out for a party. And at the end of your torchlight, ahead to the right, you see a door.
We will move up to the door, and assuming we don't see any further corridor decisions. Oh boy, another door.
And another door, yes.
Honestly, we should probably just open each of these in turn, so whoever's got the highest wisdom, there's a door right beside us.
Do we even want to listen at these doors, I wonder? We haven't encountered too much from... We haven't encountered too much from these doors, and our time here will definitely get more and more dangerous. Or rather, like, if we
Alright.
I forgot to ask something. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I was going to ask this at the beginning, and seems like a really important question. How many torches do you all have?
I've got a grand total of 3.
Is that the total? You have 9?
I have 4.
4? I'm sorry, what did you say, Jonah?
I don't have any.
So the group has 7 torches?
Trevor has none.
So far, it sounded like 7.
Yeah, there was a ridiculous amount of candles back in the library.
Yeah, those like 5 feet. But yeah, so that's worth considering. Once you get far enough in, every time you do one of these checks, 10 minutes passes. Anytime you do a dungeoneering check, that's not in the book. That's from BX, but I don't know how you could do a BX module without having dungeoneering checks. So I guess you could not, but we're doing it. So I don't know.
I'd say we just open the door then, unless.
Yeah, let's open it. Unless we come up to like a strange door, or we like have an inkling of an idea that there's like others in the area. Let's just
opens the door.
Very well.
Bang.
Bang! You open the door. Do you do it loudly?
No, it's just the way that this VGT works is that I always open it and it's something shocking, so I'm like, whoa!
Like the doors in Diablo 1?
Kind of. I meant more like, oh, just go open the door. It's just dozens of bodies. Whoa!
I can't help but be annoying. I gotta do it.
Well, it's not really your fault.
No, I'm gonna be annoying.
Oh, that's the Diablo sound effects. That's not annoying. That's badass. But then, I also like my cheese factor, so yeah. You know what? Before someone opens the door, play the SFX. Alright, now room.
Alright.
I'm down.
At first, it is hard to determine what this room was used for. But after some observation, it's apparent that it was once a dining hall. It is now a complete wreck. Tables, benches, and stools have been smashed into hundreds of pieces. Torch sconces have been ripped out of the walls. Graffiti covers one wall. Garbage is piled about the room in small, stinking heaps. The remains of several fires, no longer lit, can be seen near the center of the room.
I think we should pass on from this room. Much of these living spaces and dirtied spaces have already been picked clean.
No discernible torches in there?
From where you are, like you're still outside of the room as far as I understand, right? So you have your torch. You can just tell that it's a dining room and then it's been trashed. But you can't make out any specifics from outside of the room.
If you want to take a peek in, Trevor, I mean, we definitely could.
I'm really not sure.
Let's just keep going then. Let's check out the next door to the north.
All right. You leave the door open?
Well, I think by default we'll close the doors behind us.
Very well.
Make it less obvious to others that other people are here.
Okay. There's another door here, of course, and then another that you can see at the edge of your torchlight. The walls here are all decorative, sometimes punctuated, as I said, with little tables, ornaments, vases, paintings.
We'll have to remember to read the paintings later.
Yeah.
Taryn will actually grab a couple of these vases as we pass by.
You can do
Might be
that.
good for throwing.
Sure.
Now, it seems to me that since we have multiple doors, multiple peoples, might be an idea if everybody listens at a different door at the same time.
Good thinking.
It's a good idea.
You
In
could
that
do
case, Let's have. I think me and Raltnik are the least perceptive characters. So I think what we should do is me and Raltnik will guard, and then we have one person on each door. Oh, and we also have Yuri with us. I guess let's have Yuri be on guard as well.
Okay. So, since that's the case, I'll just kind of move. It sounds like you're going to try to listen at 2 doors. So I'm just moving Trevor where you can see the 2 doors, okay? And we're going to move into crawling rounds. So, Taryn, you can move and take an action.
So is about like 30 feet the distance, or is that like the moving to near?
That's a good question, yeah. And yeah, you can move 30 feet, but, you know, just let me know what you're trying to do, and sometimes maybe just move further, you know, and because since it's zone movement. I wouldn't have had a problem if you moved at the edge, for example.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Taryn will move to this side, and he's got his great sword at the ready, kind of just got it at a resting position, pointing down, and he's listening and watching intently on the corridors.
All right, so I know everybody's going to make 1 dungeoneering check or watch, right? So I'll just do this. We'll do 10 minutes for this. But since you're doing it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the timer. So that doesn't seem very fair as we do those rounds. All right, you do not hear anything at this door. The next person is Raltnik. Raltnik, what are you doing?
I got my sword and shield ready on the opposite side of Karen. No clue why I had trouble remembering that name for a sec there.
Okay. Let's see. The next person is Rigo. Rigo, what are you doing? I think you're muted. Gosh. Microphone. I think it might be the jack into the microphone, because it was doing it with 2 headsets. I have that problem on mine. I'm lucky. I'm not going to touch it because it's going to start doing that to me if I touch it.
We're not hearing you. Oh, ready for a moment.
I'll get back to you. No big deal. I hate that happens. Trevor, you're holding a torch or doing anything else?
Yeah, holding a torch, and you'll listen at this door.
You don't see any door there, but you do see where the wall meets a mural.
Okay. Well, he's curious now. Actually, let's roll just in case, because I don't want to just. It feels like a meeting. A 1 to 3.
Hello.
Mural.
Hey, we can hear you now.
Hear you now.
Waltzes right past it like it's nothing.
Very well. Okay. Riga, what are you doing?
Yeah, I will be listening at that other door.
Okay, you're going to listen at this door right here?
Yeah, the one I'm in front of.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. I'll roll on. All right, you don't hear anything behind that door. Trevor, sorry, and then Yuri. Yuri's going to stay with Daniel and offer to listen at the door.
Yeah, go for it.
Since Daniel's kind of the meathead, the tough guy. And he announces to you that he doesn't hear anything. And I think that is everybody. That is 1 round. I'm going to start the timer. All right. So, what does everybody do?
Aaron motions back to the others and says to them, if you think the rooms beyond are empty or safe, crack them open, take a peek inside. I'll keep watching.
All right. I'll slowly open this door down here.
Trevor will wait kind of in the middle and then run towards whatever door people start screaming at.
Okay, so Daniel, you try to quietly open the door. I don't think you guys have a torch lit, though. Now, if you light a second torch, it rides along on the first one. So.
Well, yeah, I guess Trevor has to be at one or the other door. So I guess this north one first.
Very well.
I don't think we have much of an option. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Riga, you open this door and you see rotten bags of grain, old brooms, 3 decaying beer barrels full of vinegar, all remaining in the shelved room. It appears as if it was once a storeroom. It's not obvious if the inhabitants left the grain and beer because they couldn't transport them, or what happened here. But there is a strange smell coming from one of the barrels. But otherwise, the materials in the room looks like a storeroom that's well stocked.
I think we should look around the storeroom for a bit.
By all means, go ahead. Terran says he'll just keep a watch out until the rest of the party feels confident in having searched through the rooms.
Okay.
Kind of leaving it up to their devices. Kind of let's search, let's try to get stuff from these rooms, and then we'll move on once we've looked through.
I'll use the regroup feature if you all want, and Daniel and Yuri, you can rejoin them if you choose, and then you can search the room by turns, and then regroup back here, and then you can search this room if you choose. If you don't...
Yeah, sure.
Very well. Okay, so you regroup. We'll start with Riga. You can move and then act.
Yeah, I will go to the beer barrel that smells funny.
Very well. What do you do with it?
I will, I'll use my axe to, like, break in the lid.
Okay. Now this causes noise. But it breaks in, and in fact, as soon as you hit it, it's as if it's suddenly easy to break in. And you see things floating around, and at first you think they're gonna, like, creatures are gonna come out, but then it stills and it stills and it kind of sloshes around. It's like a bunch of water, and it smells awful. And inside here you can see floating a barrel full of pickled snakes. Trevor.
All right, he's standing at the door with the torch, and then once that happens, he just kind of like lifts up his coat a bit over his mouth and murmurs. That's about all he can do, really.
All right, Yuri will pass his turn. Daniel.
I'm not partial to pickled snakes, so I'm good.
All right, Terran.
You guys think there's not much worth in there? Do we want to chop more of those barrels?
Trevor nods quickly.
All right, let's move on to the other door.
All right, I will regroup you all and then move you together. And your torch goes out. And also have to see. Let's see.
We heard that.
Sorry.
Also, if I haven't said it already, it's a pleasure to meet your dog.
Me? Who?
Yeah, didn't you have a dog in that little carrier over there?
Oh, did he come out?
He didn't come out so much, but he was near the front earlier when you first hopped on.
Oh, I'll get him out in a second. He's yeah. This is great. Well, you're the group caller. Taryn, roll a wisdom check.
Got a 7.
Thought you rolled that with advantage.
This-
Like, oh, okay. Oh.
This is how it ends.
Now you have little face.
Right. Okay, I got some better things here. I got to do some rolling. I'm going to actually use all the rules here. Okay, interesting. Okay, so the torch goes out, and this is what happens. One of the things about Shadowdark, and of course this is the same in BX, but especially so, no characters have night vision, or dark vision, or infravision, or ultravision in Shadowdark. None. Nobody. I think there's one mild exception to it in one of the recent things that came out, but every monster does. I suppose except humanoids, or humans maybe not, but
Believe it or not, in a lot of the older editions, any monster has night vision.
oh yeah, no, they all have infravision, but in BX you could have a demi-human with you. Bam, 60 feet of infravision. But this game, it doesn't matter. You could be a dwarf, elf, don't matter. No. But anyways, somewhere out in the darkness, as soon as your torch goes out, Trevor, you hear footsteps off in the dark and grunting off in the distance. What do you all do?
We had a second torch lit, didn't we?
Well, it would have ridden along on the first one.
Yeah, we just had the one lit.
Oh, okay. I have another torch. I can give another torch to somebody if they want to use it.
Do we want to relight it right away? Ross, did these things sound like they were grunting, not necessarily humanoid?
You're not sure. Grunting, it does sound like feet clomping,
like
clomping against
steps.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
All right, let's relight the torch as quick as we can.
Okay. Who does that? And of course, there was the matter of flint and steel. So I think that's an item in the game, right? Or am I getting my games mixed up and we're thinking of another game?
That's an item.
Okay, so somebody had to, I think that happened in this game. Somebody needs to have the flint and steel, and somebody needs to light the torch. Okay, so Riga, you light. You can't use your two-handed weapon as two-handed if you do that, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna light the torch and hand it off to somebody.
Oh, okay. Who do you hand it off to?
Whoever is willing to take it.
Is it Trevor? He's the wizard.
Trevor will take it.
There you go. Boom. Okay.
It's getting less and less useful.
You light the torch. You see nothing down the hallway where you heard the noises. What do you do now?
Aaron whispers to the others, should we call out? Might just be more of those cultists.
I think maybe we should open the door and go inside for a bit. And just kind of wait it out.
Good idea.
Not too long, because darkness.
Yeah, that's a real good idea. Yeah, let's crack open the door to the granary the storage room we were just in, and we'll go in there and we'll wait at least 10 minutes, and we'll kind of be listening to hear if those footsteps they come by or they go past.
Okay, you go in, you wait 10 minutes. And eventually, they were already, you know, a little bit far away. You don't hear anything, you wait. You think you hear something, you wait. 10 minutes pass, you're certain that you just hear silence. And everyone breathing.
I guess then that we've probably evaded them. Let's get back to opening the other door and checking inside.
Okay. Yeah, we were regrouping and opening the door. So the door is open, and with Yuri's torch now, I'll pan the camera here. Actually, let me pan it over into the room. With the torch lit and looking inside, you can see that this was once a kitchen. There are wooden trenchers, spoons, and knives scattered about the tables and floors. 3 large tubs full of water sit on stools near the fireplace. This is not pristine. In fact, one of the tubs, one of the sculleries, is full of green fungus which spills over into the nearby area and along the floor. A pile of grease-soaked rags lie in one corner of the room near a keg of dried beans. Pots and other assorted dishes and cooking utensils lie strewn about the room, looking beyond cleaning or repair.
If there's green fungi in the thingamagabber, and we had green fungi as an issue last time, Rolnick's just gonna close the door unless someone really wants to go in that badly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Purple was the color of the things that attacked us in the past, I think.
Still, we've had to face 3 goo creatures.
Alright. In that case, where do you all go from here?
Let's move to the north. And I think pretty soon we should... Pretty soon, I feel like we would eventually see the door to the entrance of this entire palace. So let's keep going north. Let's hope we run into some familiar features.
Okay. Let's see. You start going north, and all of a sudden, a pan right here. You don't have to make a check to know this. You hear all sorts of clamor behind this door. It sounds like screaming, screeching, animal sounds, things being broken. It sounds like a bar fight with a mixture of people and animals.
Everyone get in a position, we're going to open the door.
Oh, what if we want to... Wait, we could bar them inside.
True, but what if there's one innocent inside?
Well, what if there's someone hostile inside?
One of us could peek through the door and relay us with more information.
Does anybody still have any of those spikes we started with? That's allowed. Alright.
If there's people in there, then they may have torches.
Which is true.
Should we put it to a vote then? Whether we want to go inside or stay outside?
Alright, I vote yes. In.
Alright, well, yeah, okay, there's 2 yeses.
Yeah, let's go in then.
Okay, okay. Alright, who opens the door?
I will open the door.
Taryn flips a coin and yeah, came up Riga. Yeah, go
okay,
for it.
Alright, Riga, make a wisdom check. Okay, so you see Riga open the door and all of a sudden get dragged inside and the door gets thrown shut.
Oh shit. Well, now we have to go in there. Oh no.
This is a surprise round.
One of them rolled a 1 though, and a 20.
They were waiting for someone to do this.
Riga.
I need to do this twice. It's 7 and 5. You take 12 points of damage on a surprise round. You still going?
3 left.
Nice. Excellent. Okay, what do you all do?
Well, seeing our buddy got snatched up, I think we are smashing into that room and wading into battle, it seems.
What is the... Why? What is happening? Oh.
Suddenly reminded of the Baldur's Gates game. Time for a bit of the rough and tumble.
Okay, so you're gonna open the door and go in. Sorry, my VTT is being weird.
I'll fight too.
Yeah, weapons at the ready. We're going in there expecting a fight.
All right. Roll for initiative. Let's see. I lost mine. I got an 11. 50. Okay, so somebody got a 17. Somebody got a 20. Looking like the 21. Looking like it's Trevor the Wizard. So, Trevor, you're able to act first. You can move and then act. And you can do it in any order in this game. So you can move a little bit, take your action, and then move, you know. So, and there are no opportunity attacks.
Alright, he's going to fling the door open and commit violence to the closest thing that's not Riga with magic.
Very well.
I'm afraid to click the button, but here goes.
You see a room full of orcs and a bunch of dead bodies of kobolds all over the floor, and Riga is being pounded on by a bunch of these things that dragged him in here.
Be unalive.
Your target is 15.
Alright, he takes 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage. Okay, which one are you targeting? Okay.
That guy. Oh, I'm dumb.
You want to target a different one?
No, I just immediately realized my plan was stupid when it's humanoids.
Alright, the next person is Yuri. Now, Yuri knows that he's important. He's going to try to cast protection from evil on the big guy with the big sword. Actually, you know what? He's going to do it for Raltnik, because he realizes Raltnik is a servant of Ord and deserves this blessing. So here it goes. You have it. You now have, and remind me of this, they have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. They cannot possess, compel, or beguile you. So there you go. And let's see, that next is Daniel.
Alright, Daniel here is going to rush in with his spear just past the door. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And the guy who's standing over Riga, he'll stab at him. How do I do that guy there?
Gotcha.
+3 for my spear, 17.
That hits.
Alright. And 7 damage.
Describe how you kill him.
Just bam, right through the chest.
He gurgles and releases an animalistic blood-spurtling gurgle from his pig face, and then just slumps over under your spear and slides off of it onto the ground. And Perrin, you're next.
Perrin goes into the room behind Daniel, compliments his companion on his swordsmanship, and there are a lot of orcs in there. Oh.
Grab Riga and run.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to grab Riga and try to get him back out through the door outside the room.
All right, you can do that. If Riga consents. Riga, do you wish to do that?
Riga or
Riga, yeah.
Your microphone's not working again, man. I can't hear a word you're saying, man. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Right.
Okay.
All right. You all regroup. If the plan is to run, you can do that. You regroup, and what do you all do now? What's the plan?
I got a crowbar I could jam in the door to try to stop him.
Oh, that's a good idea.
The crowbar came in handy.
All right. Yeah, you can do that. It makes noise. This whole thing is making noise. Also, as you do that, you realize you cast a spell. You have the torch, and you try to get the crowbar out. I'm attacking the light because you're going to try to get down and jam this crowbar into the door.
Oh shit!
Where is it? It's the... I'm going to use this one. I think it's this die. Where is it? I'm sorry. I want to make sure that I don't get this completely wrong, because that would be stupid.
yeah, man, you do what you gotta. Don't you worry about us.
I'm trying to find the... I tell you what, I'm going to re-roll that because I think... So, I think what they do is it's a D6, and then it's like low is bad and high is good or something. So, it's going to be basically a D2, but I'm going to use a D6 for it. So, 1, 2, and 3 is bad. 4, 5, and 6 is good. 3 is bad. The light goes out. Now, this happens as you get down, so you can, if you have flint and steel, you can attempt to light a torch.
I do.
All right. Do you have a torch?
Oh, I do not.
All right, you cannot. Okay, so let's see.
Can we relight that torch that went out?
No, it's out. It is gone.
All right. I have another torch. I'll light another torch.
All right, well... so it's Trevor's turn. Now, I will say in the dark, you can try to fill the door, slam it shut, because the door opens towards you all. So you can try to push up against the door, and while you're against it, try to get this crowbar in the door. I will say that you can do that.
Awesome.
So you do that in the darkness. The next person is... Oh, I'm sorry. I kind of skipped around because you said you had a crowbar, which is fine. So Trevor, or I'm sorry, Yuri... I'm gonna see what Yuri has. He might have a bunch of torches. I put all his stuff over here. He has a lantern, which is pretty awesome. And he suggests, he's like, should I light the lantern? He says that in the dark, like in a calm voice.
Everybody at the same time? Yes!
Boosh. That's awesome. It worked. I just pushed the button in his character sheet, and I think it's going to start the timer. Where's the timer? It would be super cool right now to use the...
I think the timer is right on the thing, maybe?
Yeah, I guess I can't get to it because of... because all the player things are down there. Gosh darn it. It would be so cool to use the torch timer now. Oh, well. Alright. And I can't remember. I think it's the same, though. I'm pretty sure it's an hour either way.
Yeah, it's an hour.
Which I adore. I mean, we're Shadowdarking now, so here we go. Alright, so he starts his lantern on his turn. regrouping, what's the plan for the group? You've got the door barred just with a crowbar, and they're going to try to force it open against this crowbar. And you can actually hear them doing that. And the door is like banging back, banging, against the crowbar. It's starting to slide just like a few centimeters at a time. What do you do now?
Are we getting the hell out of here, guys? Or do we want to try to fight him at the door?
No, there's a lot of them.
I have protection from evil. I can easily soak up the damage we need while you ping with spears.
So it sounds like 1 vote to fight, 2 votes to flee so far.
Yeah, what do you... Yeah, go ahead.
I also have protection from evil, and it's just up ahead there around the corner. I'll go get it.
All right, all right, where do you go? Where do you go?
Away.
Let's flee. Yeah, screw it. Let's flee to the north.
All right, you come around to the corner, and in the lantern light, you can see the corridor continues on beyond the edge of it. Actually, let me kind of pan this way. Do you keep going?
Looks like it.
Very well. You keep going, and you find that it turns back to the left, and you see a portcullis.
As expected, Terran will immediately throw himself at it to try to lift it.
Very well. I think you find yourself not strong enough on your own to lift it. You can see Terran's huge muscles just like, about to snap, but he's just...
runs over and helps him out so his muscles don't have to snap.
Yeah, Routnick, as soon as you start to lift, it starts to and grind loudly as it starts to lift. And I'm also going to make a check for the orcs. And you hear a door back there slam open.
Good, because this one's about to slam shut.
You hear a wog sound as things start running down the hallway in the dark behind you. Alright, and then the portcullis opens. I will regroup you all. What do you do from here?
Getting into the next room and immediately dropping that portcullis.
Yeah, you do the thing where you're like holding it and with Routnick, and then get on the other side and then just like drop it. And,
how far are we from town?
These things, you're, I think, a week's travel, but while that usually sounds like a lot, that is pretty normal for you all at this point, right? Like, you have traveled far distances to get places. The downside I want to note is that for the first 3 days of that, finding firewood is at disadvantage. But you could all try it, like and only one person has to succeed. So there's also that. And you can also use your torches, but
yeah, another disadvantage would be that Bloodfire is already in the castle.
Yeah, it is. There's a clock it seems as well. Like Bloodfire is here, so.
Right.
But,
and do we have a means to? Oh, that's the.
Also, the orcs did make it to the portcullis and are trying to lift it, and you do only have moments to act.
All right. While they're doing that, Rolnick's gonna walk over and stick his blade through the railings and jam one in the head.
You can do that. Roll to hit.
If not enough of you can strike, then not enough of you can.
Roll for damage.
Very nice.
With pleasure. I think this is 1d8. Yep, 1d8 plus 1. 3.
3. You cause of doom it, and you jam your blade in through it and skewer somebody in the eye on the other side.
Wait, I made a slight mistake. I keep making this mistake. Wait. No, it is 1d8. Yeah, 1d8.
Alright. Okay. Meanwhile, so now they're more circumspect about trying to lift the portcullis up, but...
I lift my blade and say,
Next one who tries to lift it gets it through the other eye.
You do that, you know, they're trying to lift it, but then like now you see rusty spears coming out of the portcullis as well, you know, and yeah.
Do they appear to understand common?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna pew pew the one whose eye is hurt.
Yeah, okay, you could do that. But is it an 11 total? Oh wait, that's just to do your magic thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 damage. All right, you kill one. Now they are going to get a chance to open this portcullis.
Uh-oh, I'm about to regret my actions.
I got protection from evil.
Looks like it's going to take another round, but I'm going to give them the same mechanics that you all had. So next round they're going to get this thing open. So you only have moments to decide if you're going to stay or leave, and which direction you're going to go.
I can either stab another one or wait till they open it and ready my action to slice as they do.
Yeah,
well,
that's what I was thinking. If they keep trying to open it, though, you will get spear. Though they're probably going to jab you with spears if you stay there.
I got protection from evil, man.
Let's start with this. Let's start with this. Are we staying or leaving? Are you gonna fight the orcs or are you gonna flee?
If we stay, we will die.
Let's get the hell out of here then.
Okay, so you're fleeing.
Do we want to leave the? I guess we got to leave the palace because we can't, like the palace itself, because we can't get the other portcullis open before those guys reach us. I'm betting. Do you guys agree with that? What do you think?
Yeah.
Or if this is like really dire, because this could go really poorly, if I cast Pass Wall, that super scroll, on the ground underneath them. that could have serious repercussions. They would just fall. I remember I have that like level that's I've got a scroll for Pass Wall where I could just waltz through some walls, but not sure this is the best time for that. But
in that case, I'd say we just leave the palace, hide out in the woods for a bit, come back later and regroup at the home room with all the rations.
These orcs might pursue us even if we leave, but yeah, let's get out of the palace.
Well, look, we can. Look, I'm willing to fight them, but you guys are worried about the spears. Okay, looks like we're leaving.
Orcs hate sunlight. I read that in a book.
Okay, so you're out in the snowfall among all the frozen bodies of Bloodfire's minions as you cross the bridge leading in to the entrance to the palace. What do you do now? It is, let's see, a total of, I think it was nighttime when you got here, and 4 hours have passed. So it is now the dead of night.
Bad news. Orcs hate sunlight. There is none.
We can hide out somewhere in the hills, so either I'd say we all split off and run in different directions, or we hide out in the underbrush if there's any trees or bushes nearby.
Well, let's start with this. Terran is the and then you guys discuss from here. Let me toss the ball over to Terran, but here's the ball. Is the plan to try to hide from the orcs and re-enter, or is the plan to depart?
That is a good question. We don't have too many resources, which makes it equally hard to leave as to stay, I'm sure.
I have an unreasonable amount of rations.
How many rations is an unreasonable amount? Because there are a lot of mouths to feed.
7 times 3.
That is an unreasonable amount of rations. Maybe we can get out of here.
Also, I want to offer this. Yuri comes over to to Riga and puts his hand on his bloody shoulder and says, "You have been through a lot, brother dwarf. There are mysteries in this place. It is clear in your many centuries that you have grown pale and nearly translucent and changed in that cave, that there is much you could offer my order. If we survive this, I will agree to help you and protect you, as I have my other brother dwarf, if you will only let me study you."
Perfectly sane remark.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Oof, I think he's gonna fail. He thinks for a moment and he says, doesn't seem, something is amiss. I think even as you're like nearly dying, he's like, I think I need to think on this matter more. And he leaves you as you're bleeding, and he just like walks off. You also have lost your cleric's Cure Light Wound spell.
We might have to... Okay, we're gonna make this work. Can you tell us more about the surrounding area?
Imposing frozen mountains around you. You know that there's a dragon's lair several miles away to the south, to the southwest. The mountain pass continues. It's snowy but passable to the south, which continues down to Thorold, and the valley and the forest north of Thorold. But immediately around you is just for about almost a half day's travel is a barren, icy, rocky plain on the near side of the mountains before you would re-enter them.
So this is not only is it a very inhospitable place, we are also completely in the open. We lit a fire out here, things could immediately tell where we are.
Got that lantern, we're just glowing.
I'm thinking that we should hide out somewhere in the shadows of the keep, or under some like bushes or scrub or something like that, or even just a large snowdrift. Wait out a bit, go back, and we'll rest up in our supply room and eat some of those rations.
It would take 3 torches to do that. Or you would have to gather firewood and bring it in, which you could also do.
I do have 3 torches.
I think you would be down to 3 torches at that point.
Yeah, that would be a game ender. If those torches and stuff, like, that's our lifeline.
There's crates in that supply room with the rations. Can we use them to make a fire?
I think so. Yeah, I think if you found wood, yeah, I agree. So I will say, so you can make if you find something sufficient enough and it works. Wait, where did you mention it?
It was the behind the 2 tapestries, the supply room that had the dry rations, and it also had a bunch of empty wooden crates.
Right, yeah, I agree with that. As long as you find something dry, and those crates were dry, it's wood, there was plenty of it, and then you can, so I agree with that. What I will note that you cannot do is you cannot craft torches. You have got to buy torches.
So is everybody on board with a plan where we try to hide outside and then re-enter very soon after?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like what we'll do then. I think the only thing we gotta watch out for is when we're re-entering, we gotta make sure that the orcs aren't just waiting right at the entrance for us. I'll throw like I'll throw one of the vases in or something. We'll have to do something to try to check if they're in there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we'll do, Ross. We'll find some place to lay low outside the castle, or palace rather, and re-enter in.
Okay.
I think our only two options here are succeed at this or have to fight some orcs. I don't see any other.
How does your sleep spell work again, Steve? Is that something that could be super applicable against these orcs?
It would be. I don't have the spell right now, but once I have it back, yeah.
Oh, we don't have the spell available?
No,
Okay.
not yet. And I don't speak orc. I speak like 100 languages, and orc isn't one of them. So I can't even charm him and be like, "Hey, you in the back."
We're just gonna have to find another way up that doesn't involve those orcs.
Okay.
Well, we're just gonna have to be lucky that that's the only way into the palace, right? Like, if the orcs are there, then they're there.
Well, remember, we don't necessarily have to. We could try to go deeper in and see if there's a stairway upward.
Well, we did a lot of research ahead of time. Like, we don't think there's any other entrance in besides going that way, the way that we've been going.
Now,
yeah, we need to get a solid 8 hours rest.
Okay, so I have that part. The next thing is, do you use torches for this? If you do, as I understand it, you will enter the palace with 3 torches. And hypothetically a light spell if you can rest through the night, which you'll know that whether or not you can go in.
I'd say that we hide out in the dark for a bit, under a snowdrift or something, wait it out, and slowly start going back to that supply room so we can bust up some wooden crates and use that for a temporary fire.
Okay, well, let's make it a vote, because all right, Taryn is saying stay outside, rest, go in. Okay, you can search for firewood. It takes 3 hours, so that's a total of 12. Well, you wouldn't know this, but but it's you know, the watches to find the firewood and then the watches to sleep. So you have that. So that's one option. The other option is go back into the dungeon and try to evade the orcs and try to get to the room and then close the room and rest in there. That would involve getting past the orcs, evading them not getting to the room, and then being able to have the wood there to set up a place to. Well, you have to have the door open, which is fine. You know, like you could have the door open and have it guarded. Be not much different than being out in the wilderness, except, you know. But yeah, you'd have to get to the room, get to the crates, bust the crates up, create the, you know, and then start a camp. And then also you'd have watches in there. You'd have at least, you know, however much for 8 hours of sleep. Because each person would do, you know, two-hour watches or whatever it'd be, you know. So, we got Taryn is saying stay out here. Routnick's saying go inside. Rigo, what are you saying?
Can I vote last?
Okay. Trevor.
I want to try to rest out here so that when we go back in, just in case the orcs are there, I got some spells ready.
Daniel.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
All right, here we go. So you're staying outside. Now, you have 2 options from there. You can either use 3 torches, or you can try to hunt for firewood in the dark.
Oh boy.
It would be the same check. Everybody would make the check at disadvantage.
I think we're just gonna look for it in the dark, right? Like we got.
Well, if we all do it, it's not too bad of a chance, I guess.
Yeah. Chance of encounters.
All right, you have to get one person has to get a 15 on disadvantage for a wisdom or an intelligence check. And I will roll for.
Oh, so close.
Fingers crossed. Oh, one of those is an 18.
Oh, he failed. Failed. Got anybody else?
Well, I might as well. Nuts to it. These are both on a minus anyway. No, and also no.
All right.
Because that disadvantage.
Oh, Riga. Okay. Okay. 9, yeah. Okay, so, understandably, in this barren wasteland, you're unable to find anything that could burn in the freezing cold. So, in order to have a fireplace, you'll have to sacrifice 3 torches.
We are spent out of resources. We need more to survive against anything. So we're going to use those torches, and then, presuming we make it through the night, then let's decide whether we think we need to return to tap.
I think we have to.
And if we do just flat out die, we'll just roll new characters at level 3 or something and try again.
Yeah, we were here the whole time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, maybe let's here the whole time, and shortly after we die, some other people show up. Oh, this looks easy.
Level 3, you say? All right.
Well, I'd
Let's
rather
see.
not start again at level 1 after all that, but yeah, let's roll it.
It is the way.
This is. All right, here we go.
Uganda, my brother.
I have spoken.
Get out of the way, D6s. I can't see all the D6s. Nice. This is pretty good. Okay, so you start a campfire with your 3 torches. You create like one of those things. You still have some lantern light left. So you have that going. The first watch, I have Trevor and Yuri on watch. And I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. Actually, I think you could tamp that out. So I'm going to make a note of that. So you'll have 38 minutes of lantern oil left. Handy thing about that. Okay. And let's see. Okay, here we go. Trevor, as you're sitting on watch, you think you see a figure sitting on its haunches. Just like a figure, robe, sitting on its haunches somewhere off 100 yards, 200 yards away in the snowy wasteland, the snowy flat wasteland. Just a figure sitting on their butts, facing away from you in robes. What do you do?
Who am I on watch with?
Yuri.
All right, I kind of.
You pick the short straw on the watch deal.
He kind of turns to Yuri, opens his mouth, and then kind of thinks, No, if I tell him, he's gonna go say hi. So
yeah, Yuri doesn't notice.
Trevor's just gonna try to position himself between the fire and the figure, so that either 1, it can't see the fire, which he knows it can, or 2, he looks like a big, imposing, scary thing, and it will leave him alone. And he's just really hoping for the best.
Okay, I'm gonna make it worse, and see if Yuri notices. Okay.
Worse or better.
So you just sit there nervously waiting, not telling Yuri about this, seeing that figure just sitting, Yuri just sitting, you're just sitting, you're just sitting, and then for 2 hours, and then once again, like a Chad, you're just this is someone else's problem, and your watch ends, unless you want to do something else.
His head, black and white, as it floats across the screen. It's somebody else's problem.
I'm going to bed. You guys can deal with this.
I have
Fighting Gertie.
All right. Yeah. If you don't do anything else, it's Daniel and Taryn's watch. Do you all, Trevor? Do you tell them anything?
He goes and gets ready for bed, and then he kind of walks up to them and just comes in close. And he says, "If you look right over there, on top of that rock," kind of glances over at Yuri, "there's a cloaked little man there. Good luck." And he goes and sleeps. Zonked right out immediately.
All right.
Even us.
He said the guy's just watching us. Maybe we should approach him.
Trevor sits up. Oh, come on.
You want Raltnik to go and do it again?
Raltnik's asleep.
He can mumble that in his sleep if you want. Always making me do things.
Who's on watch with me? Is it
Me.
Is Daniel?
Yeah.
Daniel?
It's
Yeah,
Daniel.
okay. Jonah, what do you think? I'm definitely down to go try to speak to this guy. What do you think?
I'll back you up from, a little bit back. But yeah, sure, if you want to. Speak with ice wraiths in the night.
Oh, is that what you think it is? You think it's an ice
I have
wraith?
no idea what it is.
Oh. Seeing as it's wearing robes and it's just watching us, I wouldn't be surprised if this is some kind of hermit who lives out here. I mean, we encountered Rika in a similar fashion.
Hey, it's up to you. If you want to go, I'll back you up. But I don't want to go out there.
You don't want to go. You know what? Taryn will go by himself if you don't want to go.
No, I'll back you up. But
Okay,
All right. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Taryn will go. We'll go out there with Daniel.
you all start tromping your way 200 yards in the snow, falling heavily out here in this blasted flat plain until finally you get close to the figure, grows larger, and it's the size of a person just sitting in robes, sitting away from you. Until you get closer, you realize that it is stone. It's a statue that's sitting out here.
Oh. Well, if there's nothing else staring at us that we can make out here, we'll get closer to the statue, try to make out any details of it.
All right. Let's see. One person's human. And the other person is, I can't remember. Oh, human. You're both human in this case. Yeah. Okay, so, in that case, you would both recognize this. This is a statue of one of the gods. This is Madeira. Madeira is, let's see, alignment. Madeira is the first manifestation of law, carrying every law of reality dictate, called the Covenant, written on her skin in precise symbols. She's like a mixture of like a Hindu deity and like a maternal, like a Mary,
Whole blue either way.
Karen kind of gives Daniel a look, and it's kind of like, this is no ill omen. This is one of hope. Let's take a look around it. See if there's anything for weary travelers out here. Pay our respects. Maybe leave a couple fancy vases.
There you go.
All right. There are offerings that you could take from a bowl that have been given to her.
Of money?
Yeah, like someone has given her offerings. They've laid it.
Oh, okay.
We're not taking a goddess's
Yeah,
offering.
I don't need to do that.
Okay. So you put the vases down and you feel invigorated. Like maybe this is a sign, and you each get a luck token.
Nice.
Okay.
When you come back, the night passes without any encounters, despite 8 checks for every single hour. And you awaken the next day with your spells and all of your hit points. But 3 torches.
Crazy idea. The dragon cave is there. We can talk to the dragon.
You did kill one of its babies. I'm not trying to interfere, but I'm interested. I'm interested. I was like, hear me out. I'm like, okay, I'm hearing you out.
It never saw Trevor, right? So, almighty dragon, we will help you get the most famous jewel in the land.
The other thing is, the person that would know about this is Riga. Riga, you know about this dragon. This is the dragon that basically destroyed an entire province. Like, all of Galuvia was glassed by this dragon.
Yes, that seems like a bad idea to me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying not to do it. I just don't want to hold that back, and because I kind of want to. I'm gonna be like, oh, let's see what happens here with this dragon. But I feel like it's not fair to not tell you that.
If we somehow scored a free ride on the dragon, we would have to go see Percy. Like, that's gotta be where we go.
We're back.
Look what we brought.
That poor man. You are like a blight on that poor man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we got to go back to town to get torches and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I don't think we have a choice.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
That'll be our
there's
destination.
some candles in the library, and we have We have also light spells.
You do have a light spell.
The candles won't last long though, and they only give us 5 feet of vision. It's like just up close, so we're still like a sitting target for anything we encounter.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like
try one more time, and if we can't get to the top floor with the torches we have, we go back.
But we need the torches when we're out in the wilderness too for stuff, in case we run into another situation like this where we're not able to make a fire in time.
Well, we can take the boxes and smash them up, the crates from the room with the rations in them to make firewood to take with us.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let Bloodfire get 2 weeks on us in this castle.
Okay. Well, Jonah.
Dragon's looking pretty good now, huh?
Jonah and Steve, what do you guys think? I'm really split on this. These are a lot of dilemmas, like two very difficult choices.
Well, they usually say it's a rock and a hard place. In this case, it's an axe and a stump. I don't think that's helpful, but it's all I've got.
All right, so we got 2 votes so far to go back into the dungeon. I hear... Actually, it sounds like you are reconsidering. So, starting with Trevor. Are we going back into the dungeon or going to town?
I'm so undecided. I think both of them have such they're almost both equally dangerous. Because if we run out of torches in the wild and we can't find, get 1 or 2 nights where we got no wood, we're toast. If we go back in there, we've got a lantern. I hope he's got more oil. So that's 1 hour.
38. He has 38 minutes of lantern oil.
I gotta roll an 11 or better to succeed. No, 8 or better to.
At 60% chance odds on any light spell we cast that it'll actually remain. It's not terrible, but it's not. We can't rely on the light.
And if I roll
Yuri has light also, right?
He does, yeah.
There's
still there's just a big chance too.
Yuri does not have light. He has Cure Wounds, Protection from Evil, and Shield of Faith.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Oh, right.
How many total torches do we have?
It's 3.
3.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can bring the torch timer back up with this, because that was really cool.
I'm absolutely down for us to go back into the dungeon if we want to if we want to push it, but
I'd like to go into the dungeon too. At least we can die with our boots on if things go south.
It's like pushing a roll in Call of Cthulhu. Okay, push the roll. You have a chance, but if you fail,
I know we can only push the roll once, but I feel like this is pushing it several times.
It's a bit more. It's a bit more that I know I'm going to fail. At least let me fail on my own.
All right, Tanner, I definitely know your position, but Trevor and Taryn and Daniel, town or no town, and as I understand it, Riga, you want to go in too, right? So, yeah.
I'm gonna roll a d6 on a 1 to 3. We go in.
Okay, so that'll be 1. All right, what about Daniel? What do you think? Daniel?
I'm thinking that we can go back in with the amount of resources we have and just go for it.
Okay.
Otherwise, dragon.
We're all gonna get TPK'd and Daniel will live and befriend the dragon.
You return again into the Palace of the Silver Princess. Give me a moment, please.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay.
Actually, might have to grab a glass of water too.
Yeah.
Don't let him.
All right. But we'll keep rolling while we do that. And let me see if I can get the torch timer to work on the thing. That would be cool. Yuri, inventory. The place is pristine as you left it. All right. It says 60 minutes remaining. It's not paused, so it should work. I guess I'll see if it works. I'm leaving the light tracker up. I'm gonna back it up because I don't know.
I think because of how precious the torches and the lantern are, I think maybe we should start with the light spell until that goes.
Makes
Sounds
sense.
good.
Yeah, I will.
We gotta speedrun this shit.
Okay, so he douses it. All right, the timer did not work because it didn't even do a minute there. Nice. Ooh, man, if you got a nat 20 on it, it would have been cool because you could have doubled something. Like its duration.
Oh.
That would be nice.
Next time would be an ad.
Okay. 5% chance every time.
5% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. All right. What do you light? What do you put light on? Come to think of it.
Tip of the helm.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Now, you have 2 portcullises here. Which, where do you go?
Do we want to go bust up those crates?
Might be a good idea to start, yeah.
All right.
Then we'll go.
So you already know the deal. Several people have to lift it. So you lift the portcullis, you go to the other side, you let it drop. Where do you go from here?
We're gonna make our way back to the homeroom.
That would be south.
South. Right. All right. So you travel south. You come to an open door that's beyond where you've peeled back a tapestry and a corridor to your left. Where do you go from here?
According to our map, we should go one past this first tapestry and then go east.
All right, and you do that, and you come to a dead end and a door.
Yep, this should be it.
Okay. Who opens the door? You're gonna just go in there.
Open the door.
All right. Daniel opens the door, and you see a storage room. Everything looks in perfect order.
Does it look like the place... Because we broke some stuff, didn't we? Is everything back to normal?
I don't remember you breaking stuff. Did you break stuff?
Or did we just open stuff? I know we rummaged through the place.
You found rations. I don't remember breaking anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember
you're right. No, we didn't
breaking.
break stuff. Yeah. I'm thinking of a different game.
All right. So yeah, what are you doing here?
Now we break.
We're gonna close the door and break up anything wooden, and we're gonna separate that into piles so we can make firewood for any night that we're here and save our torches.
All right. This takes noise and time.
That's why we're
but
closing the door.
10 minutes passes, and you break all the crates up you can. You manage to get, you think, 2 nights worth of firewood. This would be 6 whole torches worth. Now, this takes up 6 inventory slots.
We're leaving them here.
Aha!
I can take 3.
You bundle them, and you have them here when if you need them. Okay.
Let's take them. We got room. I got.
I don't, which is why
I have 3 slots.
Yeah, I'll take 3 as well.
Very well. All right, you take it, and all right. I assume you're leaving, but tell me if you're not. You come back out to this intersection. Where do you go from here?
All right, speed run. Find the stairs.
And I'm guessing if it isn't literally the very first passage that we go by, I'm guessing my gut reaction is that it's somewhere on the west wing.
Okay. Do you want to go back the orc way, or we can go south and take the other loop around?
I'm thinking we should loop around.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So south, is that to loop around? Or because you're saying you don't want to go back to the portcullis?
Yeah, near where we just encountered the orcs.
Okay, so south?
Where we, yeah.
All right. You start traveling down a long hallway until finally it turns to the left. That turning to the left continues on, and it goes for a ways, quite a long ways. And then something happened here. I think somebody fell into this.
Yeah.
Anyways, this pit is open.
Jump.
Yeah, I've got the trap in the wrong spot in the map.
Okay. Well. Okay, yeah, I remember that. Okay. And I assume that you skirt over that, and you come to an open door. And on the other side of this open door, you see nothing. That shouldn't be there. That's not there. You see it continues on ahead into the dark, and then it turns sharply to the right. Where do you go from here?
Do we hear the puppy dog noises again?
No.
Do we want to explore to this area then? Ahead of us?
Yeah, I think there was a direction over here that we didn't go last time.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll go straight ahead.
Okay, you do that, and you come to a dead end. It's caved in here.
Oh.
And additionally, caved in, and it's completely blocked where it's caved in. Rubble covers the floor. You realize that whimpering sound is clearly wind blowing in sections of heavy rock that you'd have no hope of being able to move.
Okay, we'll go back the way we came and keep going the direction we intended.
Very well. South then?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a door open here to your left. You see some statues, and you see a bunch of glitter on the floor over here and a fountain.
Yep, we're going into this room, and there are 2 doors here. We haven't checked the other door. So Terran is gonna jab the ground in front of this with his great sword. Make sure there's not a pit trap, and then we'll open the door and take a look inside.
Very well. Let me. All right. That doesn't take time just to jab the floor, but once. Yeah, nothing seems to give way. If you want to open the door, you can click on it in the VTT. And you see a hallway beyond.
Well, this would be new ground, guys, and I think it probably leads to relatively the same area. Let's go down
I think it connects, yeah.
Okay. Continue down this hallway here. Everybody can make or the two people in front. Would that be Riga and Daniel, or would it be Taryn and Routnick? Who's the leads? Are they the tanks, Taryn and Routnick? Or is it Riga and Daniel, or who's up front?
I think we have Riga and Daniel out front. Those two chaps are toughest.
Very well. You can each make a dexterity check. Passes and fails. Who's that? That was Riga? Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Riga, you fall into a pit.
Another pit.
You take 2 points of damage as you fall 15 feet into a pit.
Well, let's fish him out.
Yeah, he's our trap finder.
All right. Yeah, you get him out, and then it suddenly turns sharply to the left, and you can see a T intersection ahead with an open door at the end of it.
All right, we'll go to the T intersection. I think we've been in that door before, I think.
Yeah, we'll go west.
Right, yeah, you see a schoolroom on the other side. You said you go west?
I think so, right?
Yep.
All right, you come to another intersection here, T intersection, and see an open door past a hallway down to the left, and then it continues.
Continuing to the west.
Very well.
And keeping our ears out for orcs.
We're gonna go somewhere we haven't yet.
Yeah, so let's keep going to the west. That hallway there. This hallway is where those orcs in the other rooms were, but we have not been here, so we'll go there.
All right, you come and you see a door here. This door is not like the others. It is not decorative. It is ugly and plain and black, as if you were to enter an oven or some kind of like a submarine door. It's all iron and utilitarian. And then here to the north, you can see stairs going down and a door ahead to the left.
Down is not what we need.
Aaron will put the back of his hand near this oven, this oven-like door in front of us.
Okay.
Kind of trying to feel if there's like a heat source behind it or something.
Let's see. Let me put this back together because I don't need that. Not only do you not feel heat, but rather it is very cold. Icy cold.
Lead outside.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Is it as cold as it is outside? Kind of relative to that, or is it like even colder?
It does feel cold around the door, and the metal of the door does feel icy cold.
Taryn will. Is there like a handle for this door to open it?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a grappling hook and some rope. I'm gonna hook the grappling hook in the handle. I'm gonna have us. I'm like motion for all of us to back away, and from like as far away as we can, so it's just lit by the torchlight. I'll have us all yanked on the rope to open it.
Okay. You're able to do that, and staying away from it, it opens, and you see a hallway. A cold, damp hallway on the other side.
What do you guys think? Yeah, no tricks here?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Heretic? Oh, okay. All right.
I'd say let's keep going down the dark, cool hallway.
All right.
Although,
Yeah,
might be better for
Yeah.
a warrior out in front.
Okay. Just moving everybody up here. All right, and then all right, there we go. All right, start moving down the this hallway until the first thing that you see is that it suddenly drops off into it just the structure of this nice palace just becomes a cavern, and the construction of the palace simply ends, and you have a large cavernous space. Oh, I forgot to mention something very, very important also, I suppose, based on your all's thinking. I'm so sorry. This goes down. In fact, as soon as you open the stairs, it just goes down stairs, like steep stairs downward. Forgot about that.
Oh, okay. No, we ain't going this way then. If the stairs going down.
All right. You say you want to go up. All right. So
yeah, we'll check out the other hallway.
These you see stairs that go down just ahead, and then a door to your left.
Gosh, all these stairs go down. If my memory's correct, we haven't really missed too many places. It's only like one spot that we haven't been to the end of to find stairs. So I guess let's check this room. Rolling a dice to randomly determine. Riga, you open that door. Check out what's inside.
All right. Oops, sorry. Okay, I'm just moving you all in just so you can see. Riga, as soon as you peek your head inside the door, you see that there are, well, let me describe it. Many dusty, musty, and smelly bedrolls provide the furniture of this room that was once a barracks. 6 3-foot-long footlockers are leaning sideways against the west wall and are covered in several inches of dust. You see the outlines of weapons and shields on the wall, indicating that at one time the walls sported the occupants' tools of trade as decorations for this otherwise barren room. The room is very large, and you can see that there are all sorts of little figures, probably 3 feet tall, in your dancing torchlight in the shadows. They gibber and squeal as soon as you enter the room, and they dance about. And you see them all of a sudden just like dart off into the darkness.
Oh, hell no.
What do you do?
We want to try to check out what's in these footlockers, guys, or should we check further up the hallway?
Might as well look at these footlockers. I can stand guard in case the little creatures try to, yeah.
Okay. They ran from it. It's kind of like they ran from the torchlight, so maybe let's kind of not follow them with the torchlight. We'll kind of try to keep them out of it, because we don't want to antagonize them. They didn't come rushing at us. And then we'll check out the footlockers in the meantime.
All right, you check out the footlockers, and you see as you flip them, they're not locked. You flip them open, and in one you see 3 strange gold coin-like octagons. They're like gold coins, but they are octagons.
Octagon's right.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm having trouble saying it for some reason. Okay, let go, Foundry. Let go, Foundry, please. No? Okay. All right. Anyways. Yeah, octagon.
Are these all in one chest, or?
They're all in one chest. On the sides of the octagon, along the edges of it, you can see that there are tiny bearings, like ball bearings, little mechanisms all along its edges.
These coins, different than the ones we have. I don't trust any of the things in here. If any of you want to take the coins, go right ahead. But I don't think there's anything for us in this room here either.
Way to see if they're magic.
Karen crosses his arms and kind of waits at the door and says, go ahead.
You want to cast Detect Magic?
Yeah, I'll cast Detect Magic, see what's up.
Okay. Cool. These are not magical.
Alright, he kind of like is straining his mind. Nope, nothing.
Yuri looks at them and he says, I will take them. He takes
Her
them.
hands turn kind. Sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say, I don't know if I have them or not, but I just kind of hand them to him.
Alright, yeah, we'll leave the door, close it, leave the room, close the door behind us, and continue on to the north.
You checked the footlockers, so you would have seen this. I'm not going to hide it from you. There is a door here.
Ooh. And the little guys, are they not in the room anymore?
They're not in the room anymore.
You know, if we don't find anything further up the hallway, let's return here.
Okay, I'll regroup you all into a little cluster here, bring you out into the hall, and you continue north down what is a narrow hallway. It's probably 7 feet across instead of 10 feet. And eventually you see a door to your left.
Next one's up to Daniel. Daniel, you're on door duty.
All right.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, you went down. You went downstairs.
Oh, there's downstairs here too?
Yeah, it's back here. I did mention it before, but then, yeah, it's this does not represent it well. But there are, let's see, 4, and white is okay. And I'll draw you some stairs here. They start going down.
Down again. Okay, I was pretty sure that... Yeah, it looks like any of the stairs here is just gonna start going down.
Well, whoever's making the maps, Jonah and Steve, can you guys post what you have of the maps so far? Let's try it. Let's
sure.
think and see if there's any areas we haven't been to.
Yeah, I can see 3 right now.
Ooh, in that case, we might as well try going one of those.
Let me highlight them here.
Mine is kind of a mess. I'm going to post it here. I cannot for the life of me find my other paper.
Alright, here you go.
Thank you. I see, okay.
So that area at the top is where we saw the kobolds in the beginning.
In that case, we could start going south. Wait, is southward the one that also had the stairs?
Oh, yes, you're right. That's
yeah,
right.
the one at the
south.
most south was also going down.
In that case, I'd say we try the one next to... How would I even describe the shape? The one on the farthest right from us on the map? Or, yeah. The, way on the farthest...
The middle one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Let's make our way to it. It's closest also.
Okay, I assume you're going back. I won't look at the player map. And from here, going back, where do you go? Get you to the next intersection anyway.
We're gonna go all the way back to that glitter room, I think. Or let me double check the map.
Or yeah, right before the glitter room.
Yeah.
Can I borrow somebody's hat? I suspect we're going to be in the dark in a moment or two.
Reltnik can offer a torch.
What if you cast light on a torch?
Oh.
Hey, it would work.
And it's a little metagamey, though. Reltnik will offer his helmet. Trevor's helmet.
Okay, do you all keep going this way, or you turn left?
We're continuing this way.
Very well.
We're going straight east until we get to the next T intersection.
Straight east, roger that. Until you get to a T intersection. Is it this one?
Or, sorry, this T intersection. Then
okay.
We will go to the south, and we're looking to go...
All right.
Whatever lays here.
And the next thing around this corner, you see a door here that's closed. And there was also a door closed over here.
We've been there before. This is the area we are looking for. And so, Reltnik, I think you're up next on door duty.
All right.
What are you rolling there, buddy?
Right before you said that, it clicked with me. Oh, right, you don't roll to listen. I'm not trying to do this.
It's okay.
It just sort of happens.
Yeah, like we're just opening the door. We're not gonna listen at it.
Okay, it doesn't even matter. We're not listening. I just opened the door. What's in there?
All right. Let's see. You open the door. It's a room cluttered with many objects, both large and small. When you have the spell light cast into the room, you see eerie shadows that dance about. You see a shadow lurking in the corner. It appears to be human-like.
Human-like?
Yeah, there seems to be a shadow somewhere in the corner. Something human-like. As soon as you cast the spell light in the room.
Who's there? Show yourself.
You say that?
Unless I get any objections, sounds like.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
All right, you get no response in return.
All right. Weapons drawn. I'll motion the others to slowly enter the room with me.
All right. I'll keep you all together. Is everyone entering the room? Is that the plan for the group, or is it just certain people? Actually, you know what? Let's go into crawling time, of course, because that's what we're in right now. But go ahead, Reltnik. You can move your tokens. Sorry about that. We'll start with Reltnik. You can move and act. I won't count the opening the door part. All right. So you went into the room, and
the human-like figure is in which corner?
You see a shadow cast from a human-like figure. It's motionless in the corner.
Alright, I'm gonna slowly approach, sword and shield raised high.
Alright. You do that, because you said you did it, and as you approach, you come around, and there's a dressmaker's doll casting a shadow in the room. There are old bolts of cloth, so rotten that nearly brushing up and walking nearby, they simply disintegrate into 1,000 little pieces. You see old spider webs. The contents of this room do not seem well kept. against time. Yeah.
Routnick,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you do,
Yes.
don't stop looking at that mannequin.
All right. I keep my eye on it.
All right. Next, Riga, what do you do? Or Riga's, well, actually, it might be remote. He's muted. Trevor, what do you do?
He's gonna walk in and start looking at this stuff. No, he'll walk in so that he's kind of lighting here, and then because I'm on torch duty, I don't want to start leaving people in the dark. So
Okay.
I'll just stand there in the doorway.
All right, you stand holding the torch up. Yuri, he's going to stand around creepily in his robes, just glaring at you all, you know, and then Daniel.
I'll just be a little bit further over here, making sure nothing comes from the other direction here.
All right, so you guard. Is the plan to search the room? Is that what we're hoping to do, or what? What's?
I don't know. That's what I was gonna say originally. We're looking for stairs. There's no stairs here.
Yeah.
I just realized I don't have the torch. I cast it on Daniel's helm.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, right. You've got the light.
All right. Okay. Well, if the plan is, you know, not to search the room, then we'll regroup. Gosh darn it! It's stuck in the door. Oh no!
Trevor, no.
Everything right?
My stupid VTT.
Got it.
It works better than Roll20. I'll say that. Foundry does. So that's not high praise, but I mean, I don't have any complaints with it, actually. It's more so that it's more tech intensive. It depends on a good connection. It's more robust. So it, yeah, it's nice. Anyways, all right. Do you go back the way you came, or continue down this hall?
We go deeper.
Very well. You do that, and then it zigzags.
You know, every time this place starts going in strange directions, I think we hit into a trap. I'm gonna hand the 10-foot pole to one of the members in front.
Do you want to slow down and start doing 10-foot pole poking? And start going single file to hide your numbers? No, I'm just kidding. To 10-foot pole.
What do you guys think? 'Cause that's what I'm thinking.
The other group will sometimes do it in corners, but you've seen in this case it doesn't always happen in corners. Yeah, I don't know.
Sure, we can do that. We can start poking.
Right. That will take you basically to take your time and poke and go in single file will take longer. So what I'm going to do, it'll be different than BX. Instead of it like taking twice as long, I'm just going to take away 10 minutes. So it's just like another dungeoneering check. And then at a certain point, I'll be like, hey, if you want to keep doing that, it'll be another 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I will do that right now. This way, because the whole gimmick here to me is that this should require me not have to look at it. If it doesn't do that, then it's not doing what it needs to do to me. But all right, and it goes on for a long ways, snaking around. You poke around on the floor. You go single file. You don't discover anything until eventually you come to two doors. A door to your right and a door to your left. That's the first thing that you see. I'm going to pan the camera here.
Okay, we'll go up and we will simultaneously listen at both doors.
All right, you take the time to listen at the doors. And anybody else do anything else?
I will stand guard in case something creeps around the other door or pokes its way around the corner.
Your spell goes out.
All right, cast light on Routnick's sheet.
Okay, Routnick this time. I'm going to remove it from Daniel.
Nice. Oh, good.
Nice.
I'm afraid to roll that now.
Yeah, the game really instills fear in you.
It really did. So yeah, now whenever it kind of it goes out, he just kind of reaches and goes,
boom,
boop. It's you now.
You look really shiny now, Relnick. All right, so I'm gonna do some listening at doors checks. Interesting. Let's see. You listen at the doors. You don't hear anything here, and over here, you hear something like distantly, but it sounds as if it's like echoing off in the distance. It doesn't sound like it's close by on the other side of the door. And it's sort of like a warbling, growling sound, but it's far. It's not near the door.
Could we peek the door open just a little bit and see what might be making that growling?
You do that? You could do that.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna very quietly, very carefully creak the door open. Just dear.
You see that sand covers almost the entire floor of what was once a lavishly decorated room. There are glints of silver that can be seen in the sand near the center of the room, as well as glints of silver and treasure in the center of the sand, and streaks of blood. You also see a door here to the south.
Is this... But where did the warbling come from?
From this direction, the center of the sand.
That can't be good. Whatever made that noise was in the middle of that sand there.
Aaron will take a shot with his long bow kind of into the center of the sand in the room. See if this is some sort of trick and the sand is really, really deep in there or something.
Say again what you do. I apologize.
I'm gonna take my longbow and I'm gonna fire an arrow into the sand in like the vague center. Just kind of see if the sand is shallow or if it's really deep.
Yeah, roll like a to hit roll. Roll a dexterity to hit roll, like you're shooting an enemy.
15.
All right, yeah. You fire an arrow and it hits and it glints one of the silver glints, and you realize it's a bell and it's connected to a whole bunch of stuff, and the sand kind of like jiggles, and you realize that's a trap. It's a trap. It's a setup to try to activate something that will give way, and the surfaces of sand are kind of an illusion. It's like boards that are poorly placed with a bunch of sand on it, then a bunch of treasure, and then a bunch of bells.
Okay, trap in the room. Let's not step on the sand. Let's not get too greedy if there's anything in there. Let's check out that door that's inside the room, though.
Okay, this will be the last thing we do tonight. I know that we're at 11:30, but we can open the door. Who opens the door, or do you listen at it and take the time?
Aaron will open the door. He has not opened a door tonight.
All right, you can click on it if you want. And when you open this door, it's a rectangular room. You notice, what do you call it? Tapestries hanging on 4 walls, couches, decorative wheel that is painted on the floor. This is a lavishly furnished room. Pillows of different sizes. They're all scattered about the room. There are wine goblets still sitting in places in the furniture. There's In the corner of the room, you see gleaming a small lap harp with no strings, candle holders, a few that are decorative, sitting on small tables and stools. The harp has no strings, but it gleams with a bright white. It's almost like, imagine it's perfectly white, but you know, I don't know how to describe that, but reflective. What do you do?
Well, let's enter the room and let's take a look around inside. This is the nicest looking place we've been. There's probably some good stuff.
All right, when you enter the room, you see a door on the opposite side. Otherwise, no other entrances or exits. Lavish tapestries, excellent. It's excellent furniture. There's some wine goblets that are all empty. The harp and the empty candle stands. And since we've come to time, and I want to make sure you get the chance to explore it, that's where we'll end the adventure for the night.